Hello, folks. Welcome to this edition of Al's Joint. As you can hear, I'm listening to one of my favorite artists of all time, Sam the Man Cooke. I got a lot of messages from my last podcast asking me what my top 5 R&B artists was. Here they are, folks. As you know, Sam the Man, Marvin, Luther, Jerry Butler, the Iceman, and Marvin Jr., the lead singer of the Dells. Those are my 5 top R&B artists of all time. But hey, let's get right into this show. Of course, we have the Trump introducing a big, beautiful bill. As you may know, him and his woman got into a cat fight over the bill. To be honest with you, I believe it's all part of an act. You can never take this administration serious. I don't take Elon Musk serious. I damn sure don't take Donald Trump serious. So you never know what the cat fight's actually about. But the bill is what it is. And we're going to go through it step by step. You also should know that Elon Musk, although he may be angry at this point, he's angry because he was expecting trillions. He was expecting this administration leading him to get trillions of dollars by not only the tax cuts, but the money and the contract he was going to get to put into his companies, which at that point would translate over the years into not billions, but trillions of dollars. So that's why he's angry, and he probably promised a lot of folks that. So let's cut straight to the chase. All right, folks, let's jump right into it. The big item in Washington, D.C., of course, is the tax and spending bill that barely squeaked past Congress by one vote. You know, if a bill passes by one vote, you know that it's full of bullshit, and you know that there was a lot of arm twisting around from those cowards on the right. That's a story for another day. If you get some time, take time to skim through the bill. Take time to look at it. Just look for things that may affect you. If nothing in there affects you negatively, you're probably a billionaire. So I guarantee most of you are going to find right away numerous things that affect you in a major way. Let's get into some of the cuts, and then at the end, I'll show you where that money's earmarked for and why we got to fight this thing like there is no tomorrow. Number one, $675 million cut to Medicaid, Medicare. And if you think that that money is not going to affect your benefits, then I got some land to sell you in Florida. Another $250 million cut from hospital preparedness programs. They're saying put all that pressure back on the states. Now, think about this. All of this is our money. We're not asking Donald Trump to put more money into this program or not cut that program. We're telling him we'll dictate where we believe our tax dollars should go. And if your representatives in Congress are not listening to you, then the elections are next year. You know what to do about it. Let's get back to the cuts. $2.5 billion on clean drinking water. Once again, they're saying put that burden back on the states. And once again, I'm telling you, it's our money he's talking about. $100 million from the Environmental Justice Program to try to make sure folks don't poison your drinking water. That's eliminated. The Diesel Emissions Reduction Act. That's eliminated. They eliminated the Atmosphere Protection Program. What are you going to be breathing? $650 million cut from FEMA because they claim that FEMA skipped over people who voted for Trump. Read, folks. Read. You can't make this up. $250 million from TSA. You wonder why planes are crashing. You wonder why there's long lines at the airport. Imagine what's going to happen when those companies, those subcontractors, get $250 million less a year. There's 40 Department of Justice programs that were eliminated. The Trump administration claims that they focus too much on the so-called hate crimes, which is a clear violation of their First Amendment rights. If that's not bullshit, I don't know what is. There's been a $500 million proposed cut from the FBI. The Trump administration claims that the FBI does not align with the president's priorities. Not the country's priorities. No, not your priorities, but the president's priorities. There was another $500 million cut from the ATF. Now get this, because there are too many restrictions on homemade firearms. Folks, it's getting worse by the day. The Economic and Minority Business Development Department, gone. So all you people of color who were chucking and jiving, saying what Trump would do for you, guess what? The Minority Business Development Department is gone because he knows he doesn't give a damn what you think. Native American programs, $500 million cut. Come over here, you take their land, you slaughter them, you rape them, you herd them onto reservations, and then slowly you take everything away from them. The Job Corps, eliminated. 50 to 60,000 teens a year who deserve a second chance to get their GED, get their high school diploma, get a job skill, help get placed in jobs. Nah, we don't need that program. Let's figure out a way to make it work more efficient. Just wipe it out because nobody's going to think twice about those kids. That's what it is. They think nobody's going to think twice about those kids. They rather that they end up in prison instead of giving a second chance to reach their potential. $1 billion from the National Parks and Forest agencies. I don't know about you, but I love my national parks. I love the fact that we have forests that you can go hiking and you can go camping and you can just enjoy that beauty. Another $617 million from the Bureau of Indian Affairs, which was earmarked for roads, housing, and social services. Gone, cut. Another $187 million to the Department of Indian Education. Gone, cut. Farmers, $357 million cut from the SAA, the Farm Service Agency. How do you feel about your orange leader now? Let's look at where that money is earmarked for. Because we know that he wants to give almost $1 trillion in tax cuts to his billion-dollar friends and corporations, right? So we know $1 trillion that money is going there. But here's where the rest of it's going. So listen closely. $650 million to increase space exploration. I guess who's getting that money? Elon Musk. $2.3 billion to space science. Guess who's getting that money? Elon Musk. $1.2 billion to space science. Elon Musk. Folks, you can't make this shit up. This man is showing you every day who he's looking out for. He's showing you every day who he cares about and who he doesn't. And you far right-wing MAGA cultists who will follow him blindly off a cliff, that's fine, but you do it by yourself. You're not taking this country with you. I want to thank folks for taking the time to join us in this episode of Al's Joint. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. And please join me next week as we continue to fight to keep our country out of the hands of those far right-wing nuts. Let's keep the gloves off and let's stay in the fight.
This segment of Al's Joint is brought to you by Pave the Way Parking.